Hello and welcome to Bloke on the Range, and this is my 8 stages from Finnish Brutality 2021. We had snow, we had ice, we had mud, we had freezing water, I had a stupid gun, and it was absolutely fantastic. Now, first of all, many thanks to Varustoleka and InRange for organising the match. Varustoleka organised a fantastic setup with the stages. The range crew were absolutely fantastic, so thank you to all of them. Carl and Yari together did a great job in designing the stages, which were the most brutal yet, as you will see in a minute. The official in-range footage is already out there. Here we're just going to do my footage. Chappie was there as well. He's going to have his own video with his, and then Polanar on their channel have got Ian of Forgotten Weapons has got his stages on his channel as well, and I have a very muddy Bushmaster M17S bullpup. These have a bit of a terrible reputation in the US, but it performed like an absolute champ, as you will see. So I also need to thank Les Winner of Polaris Logistics in the States for acquiring this on Gunbroker and getting it sent to me. At the Swiss end, Matt of M426.ch did all the import stuff, and it has absolutely exceeded my expectations, but more on that later. So, otherwise, other than this rifle with a Holosun 503 red dot, and I love these little things, I believe Ian does too, I was using all my own gear, mostly from Varustoleka, except the helmet was borrowed. So I'm in full TST rig, carrying more than 12 kilos, loads of ammo, Glock 17 with a Holosun 509, which got dunked on stage 2 and survived admirably. And yeah, so what I think we'll do is that we will go straight into it. And I was wearing a head cam, so what I'll do is I'll cut between the head cam and the third person footage at appropriate points, which I think gives a good overview of what's going on. So stage 1, you start in the driver's seat of a Sisu armoured vehicle, kindly loaned to the organisation for the match. You've got your pistol loaded but not made ready in your holster, your rifle loaded but not made ready on the back of the truck bed, and when the start signal goes, you do this.
Stand by.
So you make your way with body armour and everything up to the top hatch, you draw your pistol, and you shoot a dueling tree. I got cocky there. There we go. Unload. Show it to the RO. Dive out. You grab an ammo can full of sand and your rifle, and you run like the wind to this berm over here. Make the rifle ready, and then there's a spinner about 50 metres ahead. And you either spin the spinner, or you expend 30 rounds trying. Some people just mag dump 30 because they knew they weren't going to spin it. I had a bit of a rough time. The light was a bit low. It started really well. I got it up. I was making good hits. And then at some point, I stop it. Suddenly I start missing. It's a nightmare. Don't get a chance to practice these. Now, I think that was about the point I stopped it. And then I'd almost got it over and everything. That's my 30.
All right.
So I just dropped the mag. Then you had to take the ammo can. There was a series of 3 barrels at different distances. Put a new mag in. So the hold open hadn't actually actuated, but that's not a big deal. And then there's 2 targets. If you don't make a hit on each, you have to run to the left to another shooting position and make them up. So there's a huge penalty for sucking, basically. It really paid to make your hits. And the last one has a nasty, raggedy shot up top, so I just went prone because I didn't have to get up again. Made sure I made them, and yeah, 60-second penalty for not clearing the spinner there. I was not the only one. Pascal, who is a Swiss guy, our friend, who's been on the channel quite a lot, he shot a stroke of a 57 and got it over in about 3 or 4 hits because 175 grain bullet at 25, 50 feet per second will do that compared to 55 grain 223. So stage 2 is the pool party stage, which was quite a lot of fun, which started really well for me just getting into the water. Because I slipped and went in up to my armpits. So you start at the high ready, sort of standing alert. There's 3 openings that you have to move between, and there's a target in front of each, and you're allowed to fire 1 shot through each opening. No doubles. So again, it really pays not to suck. And if you miss, you tough. You just have to keep going, and it keeps going until you've either made 13 hits or you run out of time. And it's 180-second par time, as all of these stages are. If you get a hit, you get a 15-second bonus. So I ended up with a negative time score. Yes, it was cold.
Go, 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 go!
Nope, that was a miss. And I rode this stage with Carl for the pre-match the day before. And as a general rule, if you got 1 miss, you're probably okay for 13. If you got 2, you were probably not okay. So it really paid not to suck, basically. Red dot was good for this. A lot of people using scopes with magnification said that they'd see the waves on their sight picture. And I'm doing my usual breath control thing where I huff and puff like a train while moving, and then I've got enough air in me that I can slow down and stop to take the shots. And I miss an opening, but it doesn't matter, because it's not a competitive advantage. And actually nowhere in the briefing did it say you had to take them in sequence, you just had to go back and forth. Nothing said you couldn't miss one. By this point I've totally lost count of how many rounds I've fired, because you're just working hard. It was around freezing that morning, possibly +1 or 2. So that was 13 hits, and actually I was one of only 8 who managed it, and there were 97 who entered the water, and I came 4th on that, which was pretty cool. That was my best performance of the match, and I'm really happy how that went. But yeah, that was hard work, and then had to go and get dried off in the lodge and dry clothes on. And actually, I'm wearing the absolute minimum. I'm literally wearing the Under Armour shirt and combat trousers with no long underwear or anything, because it's only 3 minutes and you're going to go get dried off. There's really no point. So stage 3, this was a bunker stage and a bit of a brain fart stage for me. And we start out on top of another armoured vehicle with a sniper rifle provided by Sako, and there's a bonus target that you aim at already while you're waiting to start, and then shoot it, and it's a hit or miss. You get a bonus for hitting it, but no penalty if you don't. I was first to go on this, and I hate going first because I like to learn from other people. So So cock the rifle, shoot some targets. Difficult to see. Dark targets or grey targets, grey background. And then I start to move, but you had to shoot them twice. No double taps. Oops.
Let's go.
So then you go to the bunker and you do those hits again. Now here I started having problems because I've got a sort of 4.5 inch, 11 centimetre sight line over bore line, and those ports were kind of angled, so you can see me cutting nice grooves in it there. And again, I make the same mistake. But luckily, you're allowed coaching, so Ian and the ROs were shouting at me while I was bouncing the rounds off the wood.
Can't see it.
There we go, safety on, and then crawl under the barbed wire, and it is real barbed wire. Actually, the short length of the rifle really helped with this. I think I'd actually ideally have had a short AR, but anyway.
Hit! 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 Hit!
I remembered this time.
Hit!
Difficult to see.
Let's go.
Okay, and then I did something that was a bit risky. And this is the one bit of the rifle that doesn't go so well, is the taking the mags out is kind of hard, and I'll show you why in a bit. So crawl back. I could have got my mag well full of dirt here. I really actually shouldn't have done that, but I wasn't the only one to do that. New mag.
Hit! 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 Just a miss. Hit! Hit! Muzzle. Muzzle. Time.
Thanks, Ian.
Fuck.
And then,
Show clear.
because I was
Good effort.
losing time with those bullets bouncing off the wood, I actually ended up timing out on the last shot, so got a 60-second penalty. Now, if we grab the rifle, this thing loves proper PMags, but basically the mechanism inside for the mag release and everything, it's a standard AR one with a sort of ambidex adapter to it, really. And so instead of the release falling under your left thumb like that, which is actually better on an SA80, ooh, did I say that out loud? You have to reach your thumb across like that and pull it. And if it's got any tendency, to stick, it's sticky. But yeah, I mean, it's better than a lot of bullpups, but it's not quite ideal. So on to stage 4, which was a pistol-only stage, and it was a mystery stage. All we knew was that there were 3 bays that we had to run into carrying a sandbag and put it in a certain place. We knew that there were 3 poppers in each bay, and 1 hanging steel that had to be shot twice in the first, 2 hanging steel in the second, 1 hanging steel in the third. And that was it. And a ton of no-shoots. Nice long run in. Get the blood up. Now, I started shooting high left for some reason, which was a little worrying and unusual, and I thought, has my pistol lost 0? But I actually used that to my advantage here, because it was tight on that pistol, on that popper, and I took the risk, and And I knew I could walk it in, because if I'm missing consistently high left, then I can take a risk where there's a no shoot to the right. And it paid off. Mag change. And then run. I'm not very good at starting and stopping running, but I run fairly fast. Now I found out later I must have just been gripping the pistol wrong, because I shot on the range with Yari and Les and Jenny afterwards on the Tuesday, and it was shooting absolutely perfectly. So it was me, not the gun, even though it got dunked. So that was a really fun stage. That was the end of day one, and I'll take this opportunity to thank our patrons who funded both me and Chappie going on this fantastic trip. So if you like this kind of thing, please consider supporting us on Patreon if you aren't already doing so. There's a link at the end and a link in the description below. So after much alcohol that evening and a nice sleep, we went on to day two. And this starts with a really, really cool stage, because we get to shoot from a moving vehicle. Hold my tea and watch this. So this first bit is not on the clock. You run up to the vehicle. Your rifle is unloaded. Although it's not on the clock, you were expected to make a good effort. You could then load your rifle, signal to go, and then alternating shots on the two steel. Any hits on the steel are a bonus. And it was a general rule, you were going to get them early or not at all. And I didn't get many at all. So I just blasted out just for fun. So then use the time to reload with a full mag. And then when the vehicle stopped, you got the start signal. And then you made hits under each vehicle. Oh, first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning in all the TSD gear. No. I almost fell over a few times there. Yeah, struggling to get up. And that was it. That was only a 6-shot minimum, aside from the bonus ones on the truck. How cool was that?
Are you okay? Did you hurt yourself?
A little.
Yeah, okay.
It's normal.
Yeah.
So, stage 5 now. We start in the back of yet another armoured vehicle. We had loads of vehicles and stage props on this. This was so cool. So this is a casualty rescue. So
Shooter ready. Stand by.
So you get out of the vehicle, go around the back of the door, engage the targets.
Hit. 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 Hit.
So 3 targets, 2 shots each, no double taps.
Hit.
Run to the vehicle, and then I have another brain fart, because you meant to do the same thing.
Hit. Hit.
Only I forgot to do the second one, and did what I was supposed to do after, which is take the mag off, retain the mag, and fire 1 shot.
There's one more out.
I didn't hear the coaching, I went to the dummy already.
You're missing 3 shots, you know that. Sorry.
Mike, you gotta get 3 more.
Fuck.
Yep, lots of swearing. So I load with one of my USGI mags,
Well, I'm missing 2 then. No, 3, because you already took
Yeah.
your empty
Oh,
round.
fuck.
and I short stroked it slightly, and it hung up on the mag. It much prefers PMags to USGI mags,
Hit.
and they were full.
Hit.
And then I struggled to get it out again. So you really needed to make that shot. The rifle we know is clear now, so then we're going to deal with the dummy. And what we have to do is put a tourniquet on his leg. A lot of people slung the rifle. I took Cole's advice and didn't, because I knew it was going to be a struggle for me to lift him into the truck. So, sort the tourniquet, grab the rifle, grab the dummy. Logic behind not slinging the rifle was that I could put the rifle in and have it out of the way, not flopping around on top of me. And then Mr. Office Monkey here struggles with the floppy dummy. What's going through my head right now is, if he doesn't go in, I'm just going to give up on it and take the 60-second penalty.
Then. In you go.
Some of the big guys just like ran across and threw him in. And then we draw the pistol. And that's my comfort zone.
It did take 2 steps forward.
So that was pretty cool. Right, next one. So stage 7 is a variation on a casada drill, which goes like this. So you drop prone within 1 meter of the kettlebell, 1 hit on each of 2 targets. It's a 20 kilo kettlebell, swing it, and then for every wooden lat it crosses, after which you get down and make 2 hits, you get a second bonus. So this isn't a massively differentiating stage. What I just did there and swore at myself was I was using my offhand on the safety catch, like an SA80, which I shouldn't have been doing because it's stupid and slow. Now you have to go for the full 3 minutes here, and so this didn't make a huge difference overall on the match. And I threw it too far, and that was tough. You have to throw it from where it lands. A truly evil stage. I love it.
Good job. Nice.
Muzzle.
Hit. Hit. Good job. Nice.
Sometimes you get lucky with the kettlebell throws, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes it rolls when you want it not to, and sometimes it goes plop when you want it to roll. Completely lost count of how many rounds I fired.
Good job, Mike. Nice. Hit. Hit. Keep pushing, Mike. Good job. Nice. Hit. Hit. You got this. Nice job.
Actually, grabbing the rifle between the pistol grip and the magazine like that is actually very, very convenient.
Hit. Hit.
And the throws start to get smaller.
Hit. Hit.
And that was... Oh, and I'm going for the reload. It did hold open that time.
Time. Finish, unloaded, show clear. Hammer down. Nice job. Good job, Mike. Good job.
Thank you.
I mean, casada drills always suck, and that was possibly the suckiest yet. Yeah, but the rifle and knife performed reasonably well, I think.
The Office Monkey version. Oh my god. Ronnie. Thanks, man.
Good job. Good job, man.
So that was all the rifle. Stage 8 was a pistol stage. So first of all, you carry 2 great big jerry cans across the leftmost bay. Drop them in the appointed box and spin the spinner, or expend 34 rounds trying. And why 34 rounds? Because that's 2 Bloke mags. If you have a Glock 17, not a 19. And don't have extensions. And it all starts going so well, and I'm thinking I can do this. It was a really heavily set spinner. And then I start missing, and the same thing happens as with the rifle one. So that's 17 gone. And what's going through my head here is, oh, come on. And then I'm not going to do this, I'm going to take the penalty. So what you do now is you safely put the pistol down and you drag the kettlebell. The big guys were just pulling this across in like no time at all. And then holding the rope, you make some hits on steel. Pistol down. Hits on steel. Run, carrying the end of the rope.
Go, 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 you have time. Go, go.
One more time. And quite a lot of people actually said that this was harder than the Casada drill. I didn't think so. There was quite a lot of timing out on it too. And did it without timing out. So, yeah, that was a relatively simple stage in terms of setup and what you're doing, but really, really hard to do. And that spinner was evil. One of these days, I will spin a spinner. Anyway, as you can see, the rifle performed admirably. And I kind of bought this as a joke and as a for completeness, because it's the sort of final rifle in the Leader T2 series. It's a bullpup Leader T2 in what's best described as a bit of extruded aluminium drain pipe. So yeah, it's a bit of drain pipe with a gun built into it, and it's exceeded all my expectations. It's worked better than I ever imagined. It's full of very, very 90s thinking, and I'll do a full vid on this and my experience with it, because I've shot it quite a lot now. And aside from at Hattila in July, when the muzzle device came loose and screwed my zero, it's been great. This with a dot has been absolutely fantastic. My Glock 17 Gen 5 with a Holosun 509 has been fantastic, and yeah, it all performed pretty well. So that's the end of that. In a week or so, I will be actually in the States for Desert Brutality. By the time you've seen this, I'll probably be there. Don't know what my schedule is. It's all a bit weird at the moment. Anyway, so thank you again to everybody, particularly to Varstaleka, In Range, Sisu, Sako, Ian, Giga, the rest of the Polonar crew, Chappie for coming along, Les for sorting guns, and everyone else for being absolutely awesome. And yeah, that was absolutely fantastic. I really can't wait for the next episode to see what Evilness Yari is going to put in store for us. And he says it's going to be more summery, which probably means he's going to do something like have a water feature that you have to put your head under or something like that. But I don't want to give him any ideas. Anyway, if you watched this far, thank you so much for watching. If you're not already a patron, please consider becoming one, because it really helps us to keep the channel ticking along nicely. And onwards and upwards, and see you again sometime. Bye.